Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we're continuing our run at the Metagame Challenge for Explore on MTG Arena. We are currently 2-0 with this deck. We were playing it as part of the live stream. We also did Rakdos Goblins that we went 4-1 with in the challenge if you want to check out that video. So I put up the first part. We'll continue our games with this deck. We beat Mono Black Waste Knot and Blue White Control. So this deck here, and it's also got a lot of standard cards, so if you're looking to just find a easy to kind of get into the format deck. Mono black midrange deck, top end with Invoke Despair, which is really decent against the vampire deck, sorin, stuff like that. Sheoldreds, Lilies, Preachers, Graveyard Trespassers, whole bunch of interaction. Thoughtseize, Push, Bitter Triumph. Just trying to kill everything and then get like incidental value. 5 Field of Ruin style effects, Castle Lockwane for card advantage. As well as some hives for creature lands. Sunken Citadel can also be used for activated ability cost reduction. Sideboards just like hand hates, card advantage, sweepers for like convoke, bigger sweepers, graveyard hate with unlicensors, go blank for disruption. Ashiok's good against Phoenix, it's good against Amalia combo, and then Kalidas as a way to just attack into the lifelink deck or like aggressive decks. Things dying also gives you some value as well. So let's continue our run at the Metagame Challenge. We'll see how this plays out and see how the format's been. In the first run, we ran into a lot of Rakdos Vampires, played against Black-White starter deck, 2 Rakdos Vampires, Mono Red Devotion, and Atarka Red. So pretty decent spread thus far. We'll play first. And looks good. We'll keep. So I would like a utility land, but all in all, having like a removal spell would be nice. Now, if we had something like Ashiok, so this is Convoke. So I think this turn, it's actually more important to try to break up the Gleeful Demolition. Just because it makes like case better. Take the damage there. The Invoke Despair is not great in this matchup. Trying to land there is nice, gives us Sheoldred. So they might still hold the case here. They would need like land and creature to kind of pair that off, or land. Okay, so they get rid of one of those. The Aetherborn's nice just because it can gain us some life. We could also see them potentially okay, so decision point here. I think so. They could play the case. The case would deal 2. I think we push some damage in. So notably, I don't think we block. They have an upkeep stop. Take the damage there. Honestly, even just invoking next turn to be pretty strong. Okay, we have War Leader's Call. Seems fine. It's really good. So the Invoke here takes him off a creature, takes him off the War Leader's Call, gains us some life as well. I don't think they can kill us next turn, so let's just put some pressure. Them looting here is pretty solid as well for us. So they're at 4, and then I have Invoke Despair for lethal. We drew pretty nice out of this. They can make the tokens to block for a turn. They can attack in, but alright, well, they're just dead there. So getting game 1's really important because now we get to bring in like Path to Peril, Extinction Event, Kalitas, all super reasonable. Sheoldred's Edict doesn't seem great. Liliana doesn't seem great. Question is, do we want something like Duress? And do I want Thoughtseize? I feel like we don't want Thoughtseize. Play an Edict, play like Bankbuster. Bankbuster's a bit slow. So I think like a copy of Thoughtseize is fine. It's more like, do we want to draw it? It's more just having like the removal, Path to Peril. So maybe we drop it. We don't really want to be Thoughtseizing. The Bankbuster on the play is a little slow, but if we draw it late game, it's fine. Just this, like, Edict doesn't do much, and we're going to be slower, I think. Really here, we just want to try to find a hand with a sweeper available. So they'll probably bring in Get Lost. They'll probably bring in the Battle. Okay, so this hand doesn't really do much. We'll mulligan. That's fine. I think we put Back God back. Got Dwayne The Rock Johnson here. We'll see what they play here. They go Gleeful, then I'm gonna Fatal Push in response. So they have like another Convoke creature, it's pretty bad. No Convoke creature. No, I misplayed that. I can't keep Bitter Triumph up. Probably lost this one. Yeah, also doesn't help that we drew mono lands. Meat Hook could be decent, but if they just have like Immodanes, then I'm dead. Good start for opponent. So they kept the case in. They brought in Torch the Tower. Alright. Well, if we can hit Path to Peril or Meat Hook off the top, it would be great. That works. Okay, no land. No land. That's fine. Give me like a Gifted Aetherborn or something. I think we're doing this. Okay. Took their whole turn. I think we're just holding up Bitter Triumph for the land there. Don't really want to draw. Fatal Push is also really nice. Maybe shouldn't have played the land because I need discard fodder. You can die. Alright, give me something for life gain. Give me something for life gain. Whoa! We'll take that. Novice Inspector might take a card draw here, depending what they do. A bit risky, but might be risky that I hold back, but like if they have Imidanes here, it's pretty bad, but then I'm kind of trading with the Imidanes anyways. It's like they have the Convoke maybe. I'm going to do this because it gives me another draw. And then I only take 1 point of damage. I basically just need to find like a top end play. So them drawing there makes Torch the Tower worse. Them doing it then also is interesting. In their end step, they could have something like Get Lost. We'll gain some life there. In case we draw a land. We're playing a little bit of a risky game. Oh, so they did have Resolute. Okay, so that's a little scary. Because we're taking 4, so Recruiter off the top's lethal. Okay, we do have push. Jeez. Holy lands. Get Lost there is a bit annoying. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9. Okay. Aetherborn's not terrible, gives me another effect. Okay, that's good as well. We do that. Play out gifted here. We are still drawing lands. I think we can do better than Edict at this point. So dodge a turn, war leaders. And Case can take out the 1/1 here. Creature's nice as well. All right, so they're basically dead on board. They can't really kill us. Immodanes isn't enough power. I have the card draw, which technically nets us 1 life. I could potentially draw, so on the board, 3-0. Pretty handily taking over. The Convoke matchup, where they had a pretty solid start. We flooded quite a bit and still got the win. We will take those every day of the week. The Path to Peril was pretty clutch there. They never hit a Convoke creature. The cases are interesting. I don't think, especially because we showed Invoke Despair, I don't know if the case is necessarily worth it. It's too hard. It's interesting because it could kill one of our creatures. Their only other removals get lost. They already brought in Torch the Tower, so I think they might have diluted their main game plan a bit too much, where we saw that they weren't really drawing creatures per se. But even us just drawing, we drew like 4 cards off of our lions, which was kind of mad lad. Alrighty, Iron Bars 1/2/1. Play first. Do nothing for the first few turns. Trespasser into Shieldred. Hope we draw something. Let's try this. Okay, push isn't too bad. This looks like it's likely vampires. Okay, I would like an edict, please. One time, I would like an edict. Maybe Sorin Ripper. Never not have it on curve. I'll block. We're gonna take some damage here. But we answer it, and then we have this going for us as well. They need 2 more pluses here. We'll have Shieldred. That's a good follow-up. You know what's an even better follow-up? 3 for 1. Now, we could have Shieldred, but taking them off the loot there is really impactful. Preacher here. Gotta hope to dodge a removal spell. Okay. No removal spell yet. They're ahead on life, so they would draw a card with the Preacher attack. Really well timed. Okay, so land in hand's good. Sorin. It does change the math a bit. Would love to have a hive. No blocks. I do want to attack into Sorin here. Creature of our own is nice. Okay, so 2 threats here is always good. Probably trade with Preacher here. I think I'm willing to do this because I have these lands to start drawing me cards. It's probably gonna be a weird one. Just lots of up and downs naturally. Vein Ripper. Wait till end step just in case they have. Okay, so land in hand. Actually an interesting line, so I can offer the trade, which I think I'm gonna do. We can gain, like, outpace them in life gain here. Okay, they ditch the Thoughtseize. Just the Death Touch is also reasonable against Vein Ripper. Sure. Six. So they'll take that damage. Up, down, up, down. Play another Aetherborn. Play the land. 1, 2, 3. I don't want to keep cards in hand right now because in case I can't cast them, they have the ability to Thoughtseize. Blood Tithe. I should have responded to that by drawing a card in case I hit Edict. Okay, so notably they can fire up the Hive, which would make the math a little bad. Okay, getting that off is good. We'll do this. They had Takenuma. So lucky. Literally one of. Next Ripper. We need to find a removal spell. Creature doesn't do it. Gain some life. Question is, do we draw here? Probably do. Am I just dead? 12, it dies too. Yeah, I shouldn't have attacked. Or I should have attacked a trespasser as well. The Takenuma came out, like, if it wasn't for the Takenuma, we were fine. If we drew also anything but lands would have been good. Yeah. Fable helped them out there. They got to bin 2 lands. That gets them the last points. A bit too aggressive there. I should have just attacked. Didn't really matter. I just needed to not draw there. Okay, so this matchup. Bankbusters. I'll take Extinction Event. They're not really searching for anything. Cling to Dust could trim down. Trespassers are pretty bad, actually, since they don't hit. So the conundrum with this matchup is we don't have Fable to discard the bad cards, which is a bit of a problem. This also doesn't attack into Preacher well. I think we just do a split like that. Don't really have much for this matchup. If I don't draw there, well, I took 3, gained 2. I was dead either way, so it didn't matter. I just needed to find like Fatal Push or something. Gonna Thoughtseize on 2. Need to hit a land. Olivia. That's an interesting spice one. Land me. Land me. One time land. Thank you. Okay, just running lines. Give me running lines. Okay, this is a super weird version. You never see like Null Priest there. Gonna get rid of Meat Hook. So what I want him to be enticed, okay, so they didn't drop Vein Ripper. So since they didn't drop Vein Ripper, I'm gonna just go Preacher here. The reason being, I was hoping that with the Ripper they would, again, be enticed to discard it. They draw the removal. Come on. Like, super annoying. Okay, they're out of removal. Go Shelly. Gonna be draw Sorin, put in Vein Ripper. This is from your graveyard. Okay, Preacher. Land. Yeah, it's not bad. So they can go Preacher here. I don't think we trade. Because I could drop Aetherborn next turn. This could be Fatal Push, but so if I want to do this, it gives me a land, I'm still one short, so we'll hold off. Why did it hold up like that? I don't think we want Path to Peril in this matchup, but because we can't produce the white mana. I think that's a fine trade. Okay, so them doing that's pretty solid for us because now I get to eat the Ripper. Unless they drew the Fatal Push. We'll eat Vein Ripper here. Last turn. I go 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna take out the Hive just because it's black mana. Mutavault's cheaper to activate, but I think we do that. Thin out the deck a bit. Hit Fatal Push. So we can't necessarily take out Olivia. Okay, Aetherborn come down. Hopefully that's not Fatal Push. Okay, got him. Big ol' Shelly. So since they are on Olivia, play another Trespasser, play Go Blank. Probably less Trespasser. It's iffy, because like in the late game when we're both top decking, it's a little bad. I'm still salty that first game. They don't have Takanuma there, and I win. Sounds good. No disruption to turn 3, but I could potentially the end Vein Ripper. Yeah, Fatal Push. It's a little annoying because I get to use the mana for the turn. Okay, so they do need to attack, but that could enable Fatal Push. They don't discard. I have the push. Again, bit annoying, not the end of the world. I messed that up. I gave him a draw trigger. It's not what I meant to do. Okay, don't double down on the mistake now. They shouldn't have had a draw here. At the beginning of combat, I should have Field of Ruined. No sorin. Okay, so cleaning up, that's nice. They should be down one card. So we gain the life back. Give me a land. Land. Thank you. I think we have to do this here. Get the last card out of their hand. So they had double Sorin, and they threw it all away. I hope they drew Vein Ripper here. Okay, we are gaming. We are gaming. Edict is perfect. I think we'll do this. Even if they drop Ripper now, I have the Edict for it. Dead Zoes. 4-0. Right, going for 10 packs. That's fine. I think I want like one different effect in the sideboard for this matchup, just because we have too much discard and it seems like we don't have... I think Blot Out would be good. Or just like another threat. Virtue probably isn't good enough, just given they have 4 toughness in a lot of cases. We'll try this because I'm first. We could Demolition Field them early. Thoughtseize, so vampires again. So they probably take Shelly or the End. They could take Preacher as well. Okay, I'm just going to play this out because I could technically activate it this turn, so if they play out a creature land, which if they have like Hive, yeah. Oh no, do this on end step. Okay. This is again the conundrum of, do we try to hit the Sorin this turn? Probably not, because I have the End, so I can sacrifice Graveyard Trespasser if needed. I know we have Cling to Dust, but we'll take the life gain here. Because I can just strip all their things out. Okay, so we're going to lose some life. We take another Vein Ripper from their hand. They have Preacher and they have Fatal Push as well. They are on the 2 Smuggler Copters, so the full stock list. Okay. They could go Preacher. They can get that bigger. Okay, you can take that. I don't want it. I don't want it! So they need a way to enable Revolt here. So they can crew, fetch. Yeah, that was like the best draw. Ah, annoying. Invoke Despair would be good now. Invoke one time. Okay, we got Preacher of our own. I think I'm going to pass the turn here. Make it seem like we don't have, or we have something. I will trade with the Preachers here. Invoke Despair. 3 of back god would be good. How about a Thoughtseize? See if we can take out a creature. We got Fatal Push, but they have Takenuma that just buys back the Preacher, so I'm pretty dead here. And then they just, yeah. So basically they'll crew it, attack, and then fling it at me, so it doesn't make a difference. Twice we've been beat by Takenumas. Like, we're actually okay, I think. Provided they don't hit that. Trim 2, trim a Trespasser. Trim a Cling. That one was frustrating. It's still right, I think, there, but we needed them just to not, like, if they just drew any other land, they can't get the Revolt going, so they can't push me. Okay, so we have an Edict early. We'll keep this. We'll put back... Since we have double Shelly, I think we put that back. This is worse if they have multiple creatures. You have been nice last turn. So it's actually kind of annoying because it insulates them. Again, I think we have to protect against the combo. Okay, they have a lot of interaction here. So I'm going to give them the option to take Cling to Dust if they want. It's the weakest of the cards. But we're just going to cycle, and especially because they have Takenuma in hand, we're going to get this Sorin out of the yard. Get Sorin out now before they can get it back. So here, I know they have the Edict, but it takes up most of their turn. They could attack in with Mutavault and Edict, but I think we're fine there. I mostly just need to get the cards out of their hand. It also fills my graveyard. It's an interesting line. I know this turns on push, but it makes my Edict better. I can push Blood Tithe here. Do need to draw a card here. Yay! Thank you. Do that, I get the land. It just lets me use my mana better for the turn. And it also puts another card in the graveyard for Cling to Dust. Okay. That's a good one. I mean, honestly, at this point, we just have to get this out of their hand. They have the Edict. They're going to be able to use it. And I don't want to draw with that many cards in hand. Sorin coming down. So this could be bait. I'm not going to do it because they also they didn't plus either. Weird. It feels to me that they have Vein Ripper in hand. Okay, so now we are going to do it. Okay. It's face up info. I don't know what they were doing. Bit tricky. I think we take out Kalidas. I do want another Thoughtseize, I think. Run it back. We might want Path to Peril. Deals with Blood Tithe. This hand's too slow. Too slow. I don't have the requisite mana. I'll keep this hand. Put back an Invoke Despair. Obviously with like a Thoughtseize style effect. Yeah, they mulled pretty low. Be interesting to what they take here. I think we're just killing. Can I get a land? At least it's a castable spell. But could I get a land? Just one land. One land, please. Please, a land. Thank you. I think we go Preacher here because Preacher can attack into a Ripper if they get it. It also starts providing me some card advantage. In a pretty solid spot, all things considered. So I'm doing this now in case they have the Ripper. Yeah. Really wanted the land there, obviously, for Invoke Despair, but they obviously sacrificed the Preacher, but I get in some more points of damage. Oh, that's awful. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum. Ba-na-na-na. Invoke Despair, slaying the Vampire Menace. So go for 20. 9-1 so far in the events. And the only game I lost with the Rakdos deck was Vampires, just in a game 3, kind of going off. Like 3 Fatal Push, 2 Blood Tithe Harvesters, and then pulling into Ripper was the way I lost. And it was like a small creature deck. But deck is fun. I would like to play against something other than Vampires. Would be fun. Sure, why not? No utility lands, but I have a piece of removal. We kind of flood, I can discard a land. Izzet? Well, you know what's really good against Izzet? Blink to Dust. Hit some Phoenix. You know what else is good? Sheoldred. Picklock. Double Phoenix is a bit annoying. And they drew the Lightning Axe. So they'll do this. Set a stop. Fling one of the Phoenixes, and then I'll Bitter Triumph the other one. We'll discard a land here. They do have to 2-for-1 themselves with the Lightning Axe. And it gets another card in the yard at least. I was hoping obviously they didn't have Lightning Axe because then all these cantrips get much worse. Of course they have Phoenix. Because why not? This needs 5, so 2 more cards in the yard. Okay, them not being able to activate that turn is good. Looks like Treasure Cruise. Obviously, if Shelly stuck would have been good, but I think game 1 it's probably a little rough. We could bring in some Graveyard Hate. We'll have the Sweepers, have Kalidas, all reasonable. Go blank as another way. I have another Treasure Cruise. They might play out the pick lock. It's going to be very easy for them to just keep getting Phoenix back at this point. We also have the Ashiok, so we have a lot of different ways to attack them in this manner. The end would be good, but at this point, the end, they're going to get multiples in play, so we can't really get them that way. So we'll play it out this game. Like, they are self-milling quite a bit. Treasure Cruise put him to 21 cards. Bird back. Bird back. 6. I go to discard. We draw another land. Don't think timer is going to make too much of a difference in this match. $17. They do get the Lightning Axe back, so I mean, we get Alcazats, if we get Trespasser to gain some life. We're down to 14 cards. They'll go to 9 here. We'll let them do that. So I actually think, I know this doesn't kill, but it puts the card in the yard. And then I can exile the Phoenix here. They have Spell Pierce. Add the Spell Pierce. So not much to be had there. They're just dead. Just dead. They saw 80% of their deck. Okay, so Kalidas, Ashiok, Hearse, Extinction Event, go blank. Coming out, I don't think I want Thoughtseize. Don't want Liliana. I may want Duress. The invokes seem pretty bad. Fatal Push we want for like... So it's a little iffy, because the thing is, if they play out like Ledger Shredder or something, but they post-board will have other threats if they play properly. Probably gonna trim... a Preacher. And probably Fatal Push. So they can have Young Pyromancer, they can have Crackling Drake, they can have Fable the Mirror Breaker. I mean, it's kind of the hand you want. So I'm going to get my threats going first, because I don't want to play into a Spell Pierce this turn. Play to hand. Fiery Impulse. Okay, so we got one Impulse out. I'm gonna save that, I think, for later. So the thing is, if they have a Lightning Axe or something, it turns it on that they can discard the Phoenix. I think getting this into play is important. And then I can Ashiok the following turn. Similarly, they can do a bunch of stuff, get it into play. I want to control their graveyard first. We'll do that. So yeah, they can do stuff like Lightning Axe. They do have to 3-for-1 themselves. Feels pretty good. go opt. We just want to be mindful of when to target for the yard. They have 4, so they can't quite treasure cruise yet. Okay, so they Brazen Borrower there. Could be Spell Pierce. Obviously would love a land. Again, I'm just going to play around Spell Pierce. They could Phoenix us here, but playing this... Want trade? Alright. I guess I should have Fatal Pushed before, since it let me eat the Shredder. Doesn't change the math. I'm gonna keep this in the yard. That's a good sign. So they could Lightning Axe, but I think that's fine. I think the upside on Preacher is better right now, since we already have an active Trespasser. And this forces them to continually having to play. So we do have 2 creatures in our yard. So obviously that felt kind of bad. But we'll just Trespasser, eat the other creature in our yard now, puts them to 6. They need a blocker. And they still haven't seen the Ashiok out of us, they still haven't seen the Extinction events. Pieces to the puzzle. You can cruise if you want, but it ain't gonna do much. Okay, well. Pretty desperate when you have to discard 2 treasure cruises. Do they have another creature? It's a bit unfortunate. If they had another creature, I had lethal. Oh no, wait, I do have lethal. Crew here, attack in, eat that. Okay, good shit, good shit. So they have quite a bit of bounce, which is worth noting. So Alcazats might be a bit slow. Like, it's bad in Brazen Borrow. It's a pretty big tempo loss. But I imagine they only have like 2. They're going to be more preoccupied in my early game. I don't want to help them by plussing. It gets them into the yard. Maybe on the play, just have another Fatal Push. I think Thoughtseize is better to have a couple. Not like that. I don't want too many Thoughtseize. Mind you, they're drawing a lot of cards, so they probably always have something in their hand. So maybe it's right to play. Thoughtseize hitting the creatures is important. But we ate away at their yard there. Let's give us a good one. Give us a good one. Probably keep it. There's no dedicated graveyard hate, but I think it's fine. Like, we might see them use their threat. Okay. I'm more than happy that you brought in a hearse against my deck that doesn't really do anything about graveyard. I think we do this. I can Thoughtseize this turn, kind of disrupt, but I think we're just doing this. It 3-for-1s them. Obviously they can eat it with the Unlicensed Hearse, but they don't. Why did you bring in the Unlicensed Hearse? Alright, you got my Fatal Push. Would love a land. Demi-Lich. Kind of annoying. I think we're just going to try to get rid of Treasure Cruise here. Seems like the worst of the options. Would have loved the land. Thank you. Okay, so my card is called Shieldred. Let me know what you think, friend. That was a very well timed. Okay, so they can go Crackling Drake here. Okay, so one thing here, they could like crew and do that. So I think we're just going bat here. My bat can either trade with the Crackling Drake. Some weird decisions. They have Demi-Lich, but then they're exiling. Nice treasure cruise that now doesn't work. Get rid of you. So they can crew, but I don't really care about the crew here. I'm not casting Shelly, or I'm not attacking with Shelly. Shelly just reads. Your deck becomes invalidated. They discard a land, I get a bat. Obviously, it fuels into very odd choice with the unlicensors. Like, it kind of saved them from that shieldred attack, but I wonder how much like it hurt them because they exiled some of their own cards. Like, if we look here, 2 is what they needed. And they need to find the lightning axe. Okay. We got him. We got him, gamers. We got him. All right, boss battle. Boss battle. Boss battle. That felt good. Game 1, they kind of got under us. Well timely, but we were able to kind of sneak in and get them that way there. Graveyard hate, pressure, disruption. Pieces to the puzzle, it's interesting. I don't like Demilich because it plays further into your graveyard strategy. It's also 4 mana that you're not going to get huge value. If you're going to kind of differentiate your threats post board, I would much prefer to do it with like Crackling Drake makes sense to me, or like Fable, just stuff that allows you to kind of play a different axis of attack that doesn't care about the graveyard. Crackling Drake, it's even in exile, it doesn't matter, so you're fine that way there. It's when you kind of overcommit fully to like a graveyard, then it's a little rough. I'm trying to find that last opponent. Everyone is scared of us. Everyone is frightful. We'll take it. All right. Looks like we found an opponent. Sorak is our boss battle. Play on the first. Okay. What are we thinking? Well, that's not how we want to start this game. Okay, looks like Shuffler is deciding you will not win this match. Cool, cool, very cool. Think we do it like that. Vampires. I was gonna concede out. Well, that's frustrating. Multi-5, get thought seized. Okay, traditional Rakdos. Much easier. They actually can't play a 3-drop on curve, so we're going to take Fable because it's the scariest card. Of course. Why be punished? That's just us. So if I were them, I would just play out Bone Crusher as a creature. So we'll trade with Bone Crusher here. Not even like Fatal Push that they have to discard, just let's draw the one of Edict. Okay, let's just get info here. Well, that's... I'm glad Arena decided we weren't going to play the game today. Banky Boos, they're probably on Croxa, so Get Lost is fine. I don't mind an Extinction event, but maybe not. Kalidas is fine. Meat Hook's fine. Alcazotz is fine. Lily's fine. I don't think we actually want Kalidas. I'm gonna trim a couple Thoughtseize. Might just get rid of all my Thoughtseize in this matchup. I don't think it's worthwhile to have them. Alright. They're trying to nerf our deck. Alright, well, opponent's turn to mulligan to 5. No Thoughtseize on 1. I just want to get this Bank Buster down. So we have an interesting line here. I can play Preacher, but they're holding up mana. It could be Stomp, could be Edict. They can't. They're going to use Edict here. It's probably fine. Stomp doesn't kill it. They could have Bitter, Triumph. Okay, go for the throat. I think this turn we're just going to get cards out of their hand. Alright. So get some lands out. They could have like Stomp. I just didn't want them to use their mana 2 turns in a row. So I think this turn, I'm just going to end them. 2 Archfiends, 1 Liliana's, Fables, 2 Culligans come in, 2 Go for the Throats Edicts, they have some Bank Busters. So they kept in 1 Thoughtseize. They have 1 Mutavault. So the Archfiends are going to be a little scary, but getting rid of Shieldred's pretty solid. Now their hand's just pretty bad. Like, they can attack in here. So I'll do this. I can crew when they Edict. Blood Tithe is fine. Let's just start trying some cards. They'll Edict here, it's fine. One, two, three takes that out. Not enough for invoke. Could invoke. I think regardless, we're gonna draw to see if we get any single targeted removal. Kalidas is pretty nice as a follow-up. Okay, so we did get the Fatal Push as well, which is nice. I think we are going to Kalidas here because I drew the Fatal Push. Because if they have a removal spell here, I can Fatal Push and I get the zombie. They could have Fatal Push, but if they had Fatal Push, they always activate it. I mean, if you want to loot to Fatal Push, it's fine, but we're just doing this to get another creature. Kind of want to do this because if they draw Archfiend, I want to be able to force the sacrifice. So they hit Trespasser. Bit annoying. Want to attack in? I mean, I have to bait the block. That's another Fatal Push they get me. That's fine. So they sack the Goblin, I play Lily, the sacks the Trespasser. I was thinking on the off chance they had Takenuma, which I probably should have waited to see how I approach that turn. Sure. Okay, so we're only going to draw lands from now on. Very cool. Very cool. Cool, got that. Last game. I think since they're on Archfiend, I do want the sweeper. Meat Hook's probably worse. I need Hook for 4. Probably Hook comes out. Event's just cleaner as an answer, like on curve. Question if I want the other Go Blank. Probably not. Alright, just like don't do anything. Mull to 3. Hand's so close to being good. Do we try it? Nah, let's try it. What's the worst that can happen? Swamp. Swamp one time. Swamp one time. Thank you. Thank you, deck. Obviously, it's pretty bad if they play something, crew. I mean, if they want to crew an attack, pretty bad for them. Okay, well. Flying multiple bank busters and not drawing cards is a legal play. So here, I could Liliana start attacking their hand, which I don't think I want. I am going to Trespasser here because it's harder to kill. They want to attack in with a bank buster, it's fine. I think on that turn you just draw with bank buster. I think we do this, pass the turn, I'll eat piece of removal there. Because even if they have Shelly, I can just end it again. So that's actually pretty solid because it gives me 2 removal spells. It could be Fatal Push. That's fine. Kind of like my hand, but I think we invoke here. They'll take 6. think we're just getting rid of Fling to Dust here. Like, their turn's pretty much going to be try to kill Liliana. We'll do it on upkeep. This is the end. They do gain some life. Lily in hand. Did they change their sideboard approach? Nope. Because they have Lily, I'm just gonna pass. So they can crew there. We'll do this. An interesting game. Okay, so I can deal more damage from my graveyard, but I want to keep the Cling to Dusts active, which is interesting. I think we're just going to maximize damage here, just because these are going to get going. I don't want to play Lily yet. It's going to be more likely used as an edict effect. Them having both of these is a bit annoying. Also, if I play Lily, it flips this and then it can't block. So likely just be a Cling draw card. So they go aggro there. Actually, they could technically have Takanuma, so that screws me up. So I'm just going to take out the Fatal Push here. They have treasures for Revolt. They have a bunch of different ways that they can enable Revolt, so we don't necessarily want to do that. I should have played Liliana first to get the discard out of their hand. Okay, cool. Actually, no. I would have forced the discard. So I know my Lily's gonna die here. But the Edict's never gonna get more than a pilot at this point. Do they have another push? Jeez. Lucky, lucky. Okay, I need an invoke to spare. And we still have Fable, which is nice. Those, like, having the exact mana to do that. And then they hit another creature land. We'll get this out of the way now. Problem is we are pretty low on resources. Banky Boos are doing a job on us. Okay, so they respect Lily. They'll play out the Bone Crusher. Can cling once. Okay, Shelly is a nice one. Wish I had one more mana. Because if I Field of Ruin here, I only go to 3, which is not enough for Cling. Shelly into Invoke. Let's go, Shelly. We got a tanker. Okay, so that's 16. I go to 16, so I am forced regardless to block. If I block here, this plays around Kolaghan's command. But does it? No. So anyway, I'm losing to Kolaghan's command. So I think we block like this. Okay, drawing another Shelly's not terrible. Okay. I can attack. They have to block. Okay, so I attack. They have to block. I play 4. I can draw another card. I go to 7. I have the block. Means I can't loot. I think we have to do this. Need them to have like just a little less life because now they get the discard. I didn't have to attack. They kept the card. Crew, that's 8. I'm at 7 life. I think I'm 1 short regardless. Might have been right to not do that. Go to combat, don't activate Mutavault. Don't activate Mutavault. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, I'm dead here. Because I block 4, I take a lot. Needed a turn cycle. Or just 1 more land. Oh, I was dead anyways. Never mind. Yeah. Might have been right to just try to draw there. Just to see. That's unfortunate. Because if I draw, I go to 7, but they have 2 more power. But I have more mana available. But I don't really have much in terms of like card advantage. In any case, it was a good run. 6 wins, solid all things considered. Let me know what you think. Catch you next time. Thanks for watching.